I don't know, man. I'm a born and raised New Yorker. I love my New York style cheesecake. I think Basque cheesecake is kind of, it's kind of superior. I don't want to start fights. Hey, it's Cesar, and today I'm making a triple burnt corn Basque cheesecake. Charred corn, burnt cheesecake, brulee top. Let's make it. All right, so after we shuck our corn, this is some really nice summer New York corn, local. I like to keep this part on just as a little handle as I char. I like to char my corn just over the flame. If you don't have a gas stove, just a hot, dry pan will be just fine. And any residual silk on the corn cob will just be burned away. So you don't have to be too precious about it. So maybe an ASMR moment. Hear it popping. Ooh. And don't be afraid to get this thing charred. Like, it's gonna be fine. You don't want to turn it to ash, but you do want, you want color. And you'll also see as it's charring, the corn is taking on a nice bright yellow color. So just taking that raw bite off of it. No, this will not turn it into popcorn. That is not how that works. All right, after your corn is charred, we're gonna infuse our cream with the corn. So to a saucepan, I'm adding heavy cream. I'm gonna strip the cob. So just with a knife, it's going straight down. You could totally do this in a bowl. Like you put a small bowl inside of a bigger bowl upside down, and it'll catch all of the corn kernels. I don't care. Put our cream over medium heat. Gonna add in our corn kernels. And we're also gonna add our corn cobs. There's a lot of flavor in the cob, so I just like to break this little handle off. And then with the back of your knife, you're gonna kind of just scrape the cob and get any of that like residual corn / the corn milk into the cream. And then I like to just break it in half. To our cream base, I also like to add a bay leaf. I really love using bay leaves in anything custard based. I think it adds a really nice subtle flavor. Just gives it that extra little like. I also like to add a little bit of lemon peel. So just carefully running my knife along. I'm trying to get as little pith as possible, as little bit of the white stuff as possible. So that's bitterness. The peel itself has a lot of flavor. So yeah, cutting away from you, you could shave off some of the pith. Give a little squeeze, get the oils out, and it goes. Just give this a little stir. So I just want this to come up to like a slight simmer, and then I'm gonna kill the heat, cover it, and just let everything infuse for like 10 minutes. I like to just try to smash some of the corn kernels with the back of my spoon. Just a little bit, just like bruise them up, and that'll really help that corn flavor come out. Bruise up that bay leaf a little bit too. I should have given it a little squeeze before I threw it in, but same idea. It's just gonna release the oils of the bay leaf and really help everything get infused and nice. We're gonna kill our heat, cover it, and let it infuse for like at least 10 minutes. All right, our cream is infused. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna fish out the cobs. They've given all they can give. Next up, I'm gonna blend this up. And after I blend it, I'm going to strain it. I know it seems like a lot of steps. You need to do this. Otherwise, if you have all this corn in the cheesecake, it's really gonna take away from that like creamy, custardy, luscious, cheesy texture that a Basque cheesecake is known for. I will keep some of the kernels in, but for the most part, I kind of just want to really extract all I can from them into a food processor. And corn and cheese work. Corn and cheese, classic combo. All right, gonna give it a whiz. It's not gonna be smooth, but nice. All right, so with a fine mesh strainer, just place it over your pot. All right, just you see? I told myself, don't let that happen. Does anyone else hate food processors? Because I freaking hate food processors. Now we're just gonna strain this corn-infused cream. This does take a little patience. If you have cheesecloth, that'd be amazing. I unfortunately do not have any cheesecloth today, but if you did, line this with cheesecloth, and then once you get most of the liquid out, just give it a really good squeeze. I think I'm gonna put on some gloves and do that myself manually. Yeah, there we go. That's easier. All right, so I got what I wanted out of this. I'm gonna reserve some of the corn kernels just for a little texture and a little extra corn flavor boost, but I'm not keeping all of it because I don't want it to affect the texture of the cheesecake too much. I like to hold back about a 1/4 cup. I mean, you don't have to throw that corn away. Like, you can totally eat it like that. It's delicious. Add a little sugar, little snack, little, I don't know, breakfast. So, to your food processor, you're gonna add your cream cheese. Very important, you want everything to be room temperature. You want your cream cheese to be room temp, your eggs. Here I have 3 8-ounce bars of just Philadelphia cream cheese. Believe it or not, this is the cream cheese of choice used in Spain. It's not something fancy. Some people in Spain do add a little blue cheese or manchego. That sounds delicious. Just cut it up, cube it up a little bit. This is a lot of cream cheese. Yeah. So I'm putting in my room temp cream cheese. I think a food processor works the best for this. It's just really gonna make your life easier, even though food processors are the devil. All right, so I just want to soften that even further, get it going. You want to add your room temp eggs one at a time. I like to crack into a separate vessel first, just to make sure I don't have any shells. See, as the eggs go in, it loosens it up. So you want to process this until the cream cheese and the eggs are completely smooth. All right, to our cream cheese and egg mixture, we're gonna add our corn infused cream. Again, a rubber spatula is your best friend right now. I wanna get all of that. It's really nice because you see the little charred bits. It almost looks like it's vanilla beans. It's just the corn char. I like to measure vanilla paste with my heart. I'll say a generous teaspoon. I'm gonna give it one good whiz. So we're gonna add about a teaspoon of salt. I feel like most recipes for Basque cheesecake call for like just half a teaspoon. I don't know, I like my desserts a little salty. I like my desserts seasoned. When you have a dessert and you're like, wow, what is that? Like, that's so good. It's usually salt that you're tasting. 2 generous pinches. I'm using Diamond Crystal kosher salt, the most forgiving salt, really. I'm also gonna go in with our sugar. Oh my God, that's so much sugar. It's cheesecake. All right, now to this, our reserved corn. Now to hold it together, some recipes call for flour, and some recipes call for cornstarch. I find in my testing, cornstarch worked the best for me. I think cornstarch helps lend to a very custardy center and texture. Flour, if you do too much, if you overwork your flour, the cheesecake can be a little gummy. I find cornstarch works really well. And you also end up with a gluten-free cheesecake if you're into that. So in with our cornstarch. You really want to let it rip. You want to make sure everything is super well incorporated. So give it a few minutes. Our custard is very well mixed. Everything's homogeneous. Looks great. Smells great. So I'm preheating my oven to 500 degrees. I know that sounds crazy. Once the cheesecake goes in, I'm gonna reduce it to 425, but just that extra boost of heat is really gonna help everything kind of like seize up. The beauty of a Basque cheesecake is that there is no crust. The cheesecake itself becomes the crust because of that really high, intense heat. One of the most iconic features of a Basque cheesecake is just how it's presented in the parchment paper that it's baked in. And also gives you like those really interesting like craggly rustic edges, which is fun. So here we have our parchment paper. And what I like to do is, oldest trick in the book, but you want to give it a good crinkle. And then when you unravel it, it makes it much easier to lay down and just like manipulate. Today I'm using a springform pan. You don't have to use a springform pan, believe it or not. By the time the cheesecake cools and sets, you could just lift it up from its paper, lay out your parchment kind of like a cross. And then I also like to go one this way as well. And you're gonna lay that into your pan and just try to get those edges flattened. The crinkles are okay, it does not have to be perfect. That is part of the charm. Just make sure your edges are in. And then I kind of like to pleat it a little bit just to make it fit. The blade is in there. Oh, it's leaking. Ah! There we go. It's okay, we're fine. I like to give it a little tap tap. If you have extra little bubbles up here, you can just pop them with a spoon. I like to put this on a baking sheet just as, you know, just be careful, just to be safe, a little insurance policy. Another little tip that I learned, just you want to fold this excess, just fold it back a little bit. Just make sure the heat, you know, can find its way to the cheesecake. Nothing's holding it back. Yes, this will get charred. It's fine. Keep an eye on it. Parchment paper could usually stand up to 500 degrees. So carefully transfer to your sheet pan. Oh my God, okay. Ooh, she hot. 500-degree oven. Now, I'm gonna reduce it to 425. After 20 minutes, I'm gonna start checking up on it. All right, so it's been a little over 20 minutes. Now the trick is 1 inch from the edge, go in with your thermometer, just 1 inch, and you want it to register 180. So you wanna go about 1 inch in. I'm gonna give this another few minutes. I'll check it again in maybe another like 3 minutes. Hot behind, oh yeah. This is what you want. See, you still got a little jiggle. You wanna let it come to room temperature. It's gonna take about like 2 hours. Then pop it into your fridge. You need to give it overnight. Otherwise, slice at your own risk. Lucky for you, we have a swap. This one has been sitting overnight in the fridge. Just gently peel this paper back. Wow. Take your knife. Here I have some water that I just boiled. But you want to get your knife hot. All right, hot knife. Ooh, like butter. All right, clean your knife in the hot water. And I'm gonna go this way. Slide it out. I feel like I'm performing surgery. The first slice is always like the problem child. Ooh, bro. Nia, look. Nia, look.
Oh, good.
Look at that custard.
Wow. Slayed.
I did that. I did that. You have a choice now. You can either serve it like this, traditional, beautiful, classic, great, or if you want to be a little extra decadent, serve it on its side. If you have a torch, which is not a crazy thing to have. They sell these at a lot of supermarkets, hardware stores. This is a big one, obviously. There are smaller handheld ones for the kitchen. Take a little sugar. Kind of like bring it towards you so it can stay. And with your torch, little brulee action. I like to hit it with a little flaky salt after. There's your corn Basque cheesecake, your triple burnt. We've got charred corn, we've got burnt cheesecake, and we've got brulee.
Cesar, this looks insane. That creme brulee layer?
Yeah, I'm coming for you.
I know, should I be nervous?
I don't know. All right, corn Basque cheesecake. I'm calling it triple burnt corn Basque cheesecake because
Okay.
I charred the corn. The cheesecake itself is obviously burnt intentionally, and then I bruleed it.
Nice.
I don't know if I
like
snapped, I
that.
did too much.
No, this looks insane, and I like the flaky sea salt you put on top too.
Yeah, I think the salt's gonna make it pop
Ooh.
off. So
Can I try?
yeah, ladies first.
I know, it looks insane.
Erica said cheesecake's her favorite. We'll see.
It is my favorite, and I'm like just
And,
drooling back.
and creme brulee and cheesecake is like the best
Wait, it's a creme brulee.
combination.
I bruleed it as well.
Whoa. Mmm. Ooh, that's so good. Okay, I got the inside, now I want to try the outside.
That's like a experience.
I can really taste the corn too. Caesar.
So that corn that I held back settles to the bottom. So when you get that bottom piece, you really get that pop of corn. And this is the texture you want. You see, it's like still custardy. It's barely holding itself together.
I love with Basque cheesecakes how you're almost getting two different desserts. I feel like the front part is almost like creme brulee, and then the back is more like classic cheesecake. It's kind of like a
The brulee
Best of
part is
both
definitely
worlds.
not traditional. That's just me. You don't have to brulee
it's
it.
just you.
But if you do brulee it, I think you're gonna love it.
Good job. I'm officially nervous.
Thank you for watching. Recipe down below. Comment, like, subscribe. I hope you make it. Let me know how it goes.
It's worth it. You should make this.
Later.